Here's all the information you need about the OnePlus 8T right before the launch, including a live image, our first one of the OnePlus 8T in the flesh. So we can see the design and the camera array, plus all the other products that are going to be launching alongside the OnePlus 8T. Today though is Amazon Prime Day and there are just too many deals to talk about, so I'll link some of the best in the description below. You can go through to Amazon Prime Day. There's just so many discounts right now, so go and check that out. But let's get onto the OnePlus 8T with these live images that we got last night. We can basically see the design in the flesh. Not that we needed it, because OnePlus have done their usual thing of just basically showing us the design, their official marketing renders way before the launch. So we know what the design is for sure. That was, of course, absolutely confirmed by OnePlus themselves. But we have a live image right here, so we can actually see it in the flesh. It always looks different in real life as opposed to the renders. And we can see the new camera array. So a big camera array on the left-hand side at the back. A little bit of a change for OnePlus, who have put it in the middle over the last few years, but they've put it on the left-hand side in this wider camera array, kind of a 2020 design. I must say though, this looks a lot like a couple of Realme phones. I mean, obviously there is a link there in terms of the production lines and everything. It's basically the same company, but yeah, it does look more like those, I guess because Realme did it first maybe. But anyway, it's a more modern 2020 design. You've got a quad camera system in there, which is a 48 megapixel main, a 16 megapixel wide. No zoom camera in this phone though, no 2x, just a macro and a depth sensor. And then it looks like you have two flash units. Actually, one is going to be a flash unit. The other may be a color sensor, because we know OnePlus have put those in before. So yeah, I would say as a camera system, this definitely is an ultra high-end flagship. This would be considered kind of a mid-range camera system, which is absolutely fine. It's OnePlus's choice. They want to keep the price down in this phone. This is not an ultra high-end phone like we got in the OnePlus 8 Pro. That is still there, and to be honest, couldn't really be improved on that much. Maybe you can put a periscope zoom in that phone, but it is still a top class high-end phone that doesn't really need a new iteration. The OnePlus 8T, as it's coming, really is trying to be a little bit more of an affordable flagship. Also, we've got loads of leaks about the actual camera sensor that OnePlus are using in the OnePlus 8T. And it's quite important because there are two 48 megapixel image sensors that they use. One is the IMX586 from Sony. That's an old sensor. It's like 3 years old by now. They also use a brand new one as well though, called the IMX689, which is way bigger. It has better autofocus. It's just more modern, more expensive. Well, OnePlus aren't using that. They're using the older 3-year-old camera sensor. They've used this camera sensor for years in their phones. It's in the ultra wide in the OnePlus 8 Pro. So what do I think of this? I think it's okay. It's a good sensor. It's obvious that OnePlus just haven't really wanted to spend a great deal of money making these specs or the hardware really compete with high-end phones. And that's absolutely fine. I think it's just going to be a solid camera system, good main sensor. They know how to write code for this sensor in terms of image processing. A decent ultra wide, no zoom. It's a mid-range camera sensor. The rest of the phone is where they've spent the money in terms of charging, screen, and everything else. So basically, OnePlus has given us all of this official marketing material early doors. So yeah, 120 Hertz, high refresh rate display, a flat display as well. That keeps the cost down, but it's a really great spec. And to be honest, a lot of people just prefer flat displays anyway. We then have a really great spec, which is that 65 watt fast charging, which is amazing. It's going to get beaten out in a couple of months. Oppo and Realme with their 100 plus watts. So it seems really fast, and it is really fast, but certainly it's going to get beaten fairly soon by a couple of the BBK brands. Obviously, another big selling point of this phone is Oxygen OS. I really like Oxygen OS, and it's going through a few changes in terms of the layout and the design. One of the features OnePlus are going to publish at the launch is that always on display. They've already told us about it. They'll certainly talk more about it in the launch event. It's a good addition. Not really sure why it took so long for OnePlus to put an always on display into Oxygen OS, but hey, we've got it now in the OnePlus 8T. Should be coming to your phone if you can upgrade to Oxygen OS 11 as well. What other products are coming at the launch event apart from the OnePlus 8T? Well, we've got basically a load of accessories. So we have the OnePlus Buds Z, and we actually have some pictures and animations of these already. These kind of unsurprisingly look a little bit like some Oppo TWS earphones as well. I guess no surprises there. They look pretty good. These are going to be a more affordable option. So according to the leaks that we've got anyway, they will be water and dust resistant. They'll have an IP55 rating. They'll get about 5 hours of battery time, and then you can get 15 hours if you basically charge them up in the case. Don't charge the case. So you'll get about 15, 20 hours of time with the buds and the case together before you have to charge up again. They'll have Bluetooth 5 in them, dual microphones, no active noise cancellation on here. You'll just get those silicone buds. We also get news of Bullets Wireless Z or Z Bass Edition. So you get the Bullets Wireless, but these are going to be bassier and apparently will have worse battery life because of this. But if you are a fan of better bass in your earphones, then that might be an option for you. We also know that OnePlus are actually going to be giving us a limited edition of the OnePlus 8T. And usually their limited editions are with Mclaren, so there'll be a Oneplus Mclaren edition. Well, earlier on in the year, they actually broke off that partnership. I'm not sure if it was Oppo or, well, OnePlus or Mclaren who broke that off. But anyway, that's not happening now. But there is a limited edition of this phone. As yet, we've had no leaks on it, so I really can't tell you what that's going to be like. But watch out for a special or a limited edition that's going to be different in some way. We also get this leak by Ishan Agarwal on Twitter, which is a OnePlus power bank. So this is going to have 18-watt fast charging. It's going to have 3 ports, 2 of which are USB-A, 1 of which is USB-C, and it's going to come in black and green. But the big news, really even bigger than the phone launch, I think, especially now, because we're a day before a big launch by OnePlus, and that is that one of the co-founders, Cole Pei, either has or is going to leave OnePlus. This news broke a few hours ago, and yeah, it looks like one of the co-founders, one of the guys who basically gave us OnePlus, is going to be going somewhere else, maybe starting a new company, we don't really know. But OnePlus are going through a massive change at the moment. When OnePlus came in, they came as kind of a cult brand, and they wanted to build this kind of high-end premium type of brand. And you saw that with the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is an amazing phone, but kind of a bad business decision. OnePlus have been around for almost a decade now, and they have made pretty much no mark in terms of percentage smartphone sales. Then you have Realme, who are a brand from the same parent company who within a year took about 7 or 8% of world market share in smartphones. So you can see that the strategy they took, just flooding the market with phones, going for more of a youthful type of consumer, definitely more affordable phones. Obviously, BBK thinks that that's the way forward, and they're going to turn OnePlus into this as well. So expect more affordable phones, more accessories under the OnePlus brand, and well, Cole Pei obviously going, and Pete Lau having a more general role at Oppo and OnePlus too. It's interesting anyway. We're going to get a lot of new products tomorrow at the OnePlus 8T event. That is all your OnePlus news though. Check out those Prime deals. There's so many right now in the description. That is it for this one. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.